Welcome to Meetings That Changed My Life, where I trace the origins of creative pairings that ended up changing the face of creativity. On the agenda for today's meeting, I'm sitting down with TikTok giant Josh Richards and his business partner, Chris Sawtelle. As co-founders of Crosscheck Studio, with Chris at the helm as CEO, we're getting into the business nitty-gritty behind the content you know and love. I'm your host, Bimma, and this meeting is now in session. Josh and Chris, thanks so much for joining us.
I thought this said Bimma for a second.
It does.
Wait, does it?
No.
You could have totally tricked me.
Does it ever get old hanging out with this guy? You know, all the attention?
Probably makes him feel younger.
So much younger.
Definitely not old. You're old on your own.
Wait. Josh, what is old? Like, give me what's the number that's just you're old now?
I mean, I would feel pretty old if I was 33. So, how old are you? 36? It's 3 years older than old. That's just to me, obviously. I'm just going off of my life perspective.
Chris,
you know what I mean?
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Listen, at this point, I mean, we've been going so long. I've learned to take them.
How did the two of you meet?
I was starting my senior year of high school. I had changed into online, and I was going up to LA. We had just finished a social media tour. During that, we had come into some issues with the management representing it, me and the fellow creators on that tour. We were young and didn't really understand the landscape of social media and, contracts. And from that moment, I just really looked at okay, this is the Wild West right now. TikTok specifically, this is 2019. I looked at all the creators and myself, and I was like, okay, I want someone that's going to be by the creator, for the creator, and look out for us first. So I'll go start a management company that's run by the creator, and I'm not going to rip off my friends or myself. I want to see us all succeed together. So that was kind of the idea behind it. Went to start this management company, came out to LA. We're meeting with ICM, which is where Chris worked, and he started the digital division there. So we were getting teamed up to have them represent us so we could take on more people. We signed 115 social media influencers within the first 15, 20 days, I think it was.
Jeez.
That's what really got all those agencies like ICM and WME and CAA all looking at us in this management company. That's where me and Chris met and really started our relationship and working together. Eventually, I brought Chris on full time to be my guy, run Crosscheck with us, which is the production company we have now. Took a little bit of convincing, he had a cushy job and a salary and a contract that was just offered to him. And I was leave that, come work
I can't
with
wait
me.
to hear your side of this story.
It was a little bit of me having to be Chris, just do it already. Just leave. Come on, let's go do our own thing. Let's start our own thing. We'll be the bosses. We get to run everything. Eventually, he smartened up and was all right, I gotta stay fresh. I gotta stay young and nimble. So I'll team up with Josh. Now he dresses much better as well. So all good things, I think.
Damn, I'm just getting roasted here.
I didn't
that bad back in the day.
This is total roast.
Yeah, it's so true.
What even made you make that decision? Because to his point,
you mean take a leap of faith that was the scariest leap of faith that no sane person today would ever do? I've been in representation or in traditional Hollywood now for 14 years. I got brought on to build the digital department at ICM because I happened to have some relative success in digital. I had been looking at TikTok, or I'd been looking at what musically talent had been as you watch the trends between Vine, Snap, Instagram, YouTube. We've watched many of these platforms springboard great voices that have become celebrities in their own right.
For sure.
At that time, Josh was one of the talent that very much you could say when it comes to identifying talent, you'd go, yeah, that's someone that could forge a path. That's someone that has a brand, has an identity that you could see be molded into in a TV show or in a print ad or doing something in fact, it very much was a rubric that made sense. So when we met, the outreach was let's explore if there's actually a brain behind the eyes. And obviously they're very
Definitely good looks. Just being honest.
That was the start of it, was to identify talent. Josh very much had set out in saying, I've witnessed talent be taken advantage of for their lack of understanding of the business. As someone that has found himself in similar situations or watching others take credit for your work, you're only as good as the team around you and the integrity that they're willing to uphold. I took the risk because Josh looked at me and he went, Chris, you should come over. And I did, to his point, just sign a fairly sizable deal. And I was like, 19-year-old. That's cute. That's cute. I'm gonna do my thing. But like, we'll keep working together. It's all good. And he just kept chipping away. And he kept chipping away and reminding me that like, hey dude, like I don't know why you're providing all this value somewhere else when you could just be providing it for yourself.
Well, how did that end up happening?
I don't hate admitting that it took a 19-year-old or younger person to tell me that or to realize that. The ambition of the young person that Josh was the perfect time for me to be reminded, why am I waiting for someone else to tell me it's okay to be successful? Or why am I people pleasing? I talked to my fiance, now wife, who ironically enough I thought was gonna say no. It's like, if this is really what you want to do, you got to see it. And then that became Crosscheck.
I think the best thing about my fans and followers is that we built this relationship where we evolve and grow together. I've had a lot of fans that have stuck with me since I was 14, 13 years old doing content. And I think it's been really cool where we've been able to, go through high school at the same time and finishing out college, me starting my company. Like we have this growth and discovery of life at the same time, which I think is really fun and interesting. If Chris was gonna describe me in 3 words, he'd say sexy, hilarious, and who I strive to be. I think that's what Chris would say about me.
He said no, and you could have just been like, all right, I'm off. I'll go try to find somebody else. Why specifically Chris?
One, it was a character thing. I think Chris is a very loyal person. I think he is very dedicated to anything he starts. He's gonna finish and see through. There wasn't a lot of people in LA or in this industry that I had met that I had felt held the same values he did or was loyal in the way that he was. So I think that was a big thing for me. I'm always about like working with people that I like am excited to work with. That's always just been really, really important to me, and Chris met all that criteria. And then also I'd seen so many things Chris had been able to build in the past, and he understood the social media side and the traditional world, which was really important too, when one of Crosscheck's goal is really bridging those two worlds together, right? So I think that was something that was essential, and I just really enjoyed being around Chris and working with Chris. So I didn't imagine it to be anybody else, and I knew that, if I kept going at it, then I was gonna get Chris to say yes eventually.
Josh decided, let's self-finance a show that we can own, that will self-distribute, because I already garner 2 to 10 million views in 24 hours on social. And let's bring attention there. And then if we want to, we can build a library that we can license to streaming platforms, but we can then also own it, enjoy the creative integrity of what we're trying to do, but invite brands to do it as well.
Participate in it.
If Josh at the age of 22 is coming to a streaming platform to say, hey, I want to sell you a TV show. Studios or insurance companies, they're trying to say, well, why will this work? I don't know. If you're already selling the idea of speaking to Gen Z, our thought process and our math is, let's go build the proof of concept first. Let's show you the data, and you can come chase us for the content to live on your platform, but we're just going to tailor this to where the audience already is. As brands are leaving broadcast television, we're inviting the brands to come
on over here.
Yeah, exactly.
So we ain't totally washed.
No.
How do you go about managing all of these different things and keeping a level head?
You need to have the right team around you. They're gonna be able to, keep you running and gunning, but also be able to check you and keep you humble at the same time. Live and die by like my calendar, being able to make sure everything's organized, and that I'm hitting everything that's on there. Allowing myself to have time for myself as well and scheduling that, like making sure, on Wednesdays I'm going out on a date night with my girlfriend and that I'm making time to still walk my dog twice a day and just having these little moments that I get to have for myself in my own world and not necessarily broadcasted to everybody else, I think makes me a better investor, makes me a better CEO, makes me a better influencer, makes me someone that is able to, balance it all.
Time integrity is, at least for me, one of the hardest things to stay truthful to, and it kills me to even admit that.
If I don't have my calendar, I don't know what is happening in the day and stuff gets missed. There's no recipe for success. There's a certain cadence that you start to find that people become accustomed to. They're like, did you post today? Like they have expectations, and there's a reason for that, just because of consistency. Do you believe that there are things that might make someone pop?
Someone that's going to be open and vulnerable and really try to have connection with their community of fans. When I was younger, and I would go to the grocery store, there'd be those, pop culture magazines and be like, Tom Cruise's favorite color is purple. People are freaking out, And now today, people want to know every single thing about you, so then they can feel like, oh, I'm not just a fan of this person, or I'm not just someone that looks up or thinks this person is attractive or whatever it is. I know a lot about them. We're like friends. We're there's this bigger sense of community there. So when I look at certain people today, the Jake Shanes or Alex Earls that have started to pop up a lot on social media, they're posting consistent, they're posting a lot, but they're also not trying to do anything that's not authentic to them. They're being themselves unapologetically, and I think that's something that people really admire. Even when you look at the success that the most recent season of Love Island have been having, it's because we are able to see so much about them, not just these little snippets. It's oh wow, I'm getting to see everything about this Rob guy or this Leah girl, and those are the people that are popping up the most, are the ones that are being the most vulnerable on that show and unapologetically themselves. That's what I see is working right now. That's what I see is helping people be successful. If you want to talk to even live streamers nowadays, because it's such a raw version of social media, right? Where there's no editing, there's no cutting, there's no soundtrack in the background, there's no filter on this. It's just the person and a camera, and we're having a conversation. It feels like a FaceTime, right? So I think people are just seeking that out more and more.
Now with social media, where you can have the immediate one-to-one relationship, the relationship that a creative or a talent will allow or put aside for you, I think what's more and more important, both with brand, but you are now a leader, and you can lead by way of fear, or you could lead by admiration. The talent that we're mentioning are admired by a community who want to support them and want to see them succeed. My first impression of Josh was young, serious, and ambitious. When Josh looks at how something will go viral, it's not like, oh, that's really funny, people will like that. There's a chain reaction, almost like a web effect, where the lights are going and you see that he's thinking about 5 different reasons why, but he doesn't articulate it to you or the room as the creatives are all thinking about it. We're like, what's your reasoning? And it becomes a thing where we're like, I can't tell you, it's my own algorithm, and if you ask the science, just trust me, and then it works.
What do you look for when you're investing in companies?
The thing that gets me excited about investing is getting to continue to be a part of the future. I want to make sure that's continuing 5 years down the road and 7 years down the road, and investing in young founders and these pre-series companies that really allows me to continue that. I always invest in belief in a founder. More times than investing necessarily just in the product or the company, you got to look at who is heading that. And that first investment you make in them, maybe it doesn't pan out. But if you truly believe in this founder and there's someone that's hungry and going to get after it, they're going to make sure to call you first when they go and start their second thing, right? I think there's a lot of value in that. For me, looking at that founder is super important, but also looking at how we can, move that dial for them by getting their recognition into Gen Z, if we're able to help with starting conversation for them in any light, or even more than that through the network that I've made through doing calls with just different venture funds and going and talking to different angel investors. We're almost like this network where we're able to come in and invest, but also go and find you 6 other people to come and invest that are going to be the right connection for you and the right people that you need.
Chris, when you think about the future of TV, film, social, content creation, what's that vision look like to you?
There's 2 conversations being had. One around creative talent that can leverage their celebrity to a brand. I think, ironically enough, the future holds founders having to tread or toe a line of being celebrity. You're fighting for your company to gain notoriety. The difficulty there is how do you ensure that your celebrityness is not cannibalizing the company itself. Luckily, we don't have to struggle with that, because Josh is so clearly the celebrity, and I am so clearly the old man behind the desk. Those worlds are going to continue to blend. There's a significant amount of conversation around generative AI, and we're witnessing more and more people want to own their content and understand what ownership means.
Yeah.
But I think if anything, always more power is going to go to the creator.
Josh, Chris, thank y'all so much for joining us on Meetings That Changed My Life. This has been super fun. Y'all got me inspired to go create some content.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, fellas.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate it.